But talking about the markets here, what else is going to happen? Interest rates going to stay super low for a very long time, over the next 3 years at least, right? So the Fed told us for short-term rates. I love how they said, well, the rates are going higher. They spiked on a possible stimulus plan. They spiked, the 10-year spike to what, 0.78? Are you kidding me? Spiked. But long-term, they're not going any higher. They go a little bit higher. The Fed's going to implement yield curve control immediately, which is basically putting a cap on long-term rates. They have to. They don't have a choice. That's a fact. Now, next year, what are we going to see? Tons of volatility. I guarantee it. But at the end of the day, these conditions, and you need to understand this, guys, these conditions are great for anyone owning assets. There's a reason why home sales are skyrocketing along with home prices, and they're going to continue to skyrocket. I just posted a chart, Goldman Sachs. Inventory levels for new houses are at a 3-decade low. There's massive demand and not enough supply. You do the math, what's going to happen? Look at next year. Owning assets, that includes equities, especially those paying above average yields. And look at Intel. The company reported earnings last quarter. It was late July. The stock got crushed, fell to $47. They fired their entire engineering team since they fell so behind and produced a 7-nanometer chip. They fell behind AMD. They were pissed. We're firing people. Got to change. There's been really no news on Intel since. Nothing. Yet the stock has quietly moved sharply higher. Did you know that? It's trading around $54 a share. 15% gain against the S&P 500, which is up around 7% over the same time frame. Intel also pays a 2.5% yield. Pretty nice. In a zero interest rate world. Probably see the same from IBM. Yeah, that's spinning out the high growth assets. They pay a 5% yield. Now that has a growth component to offer investors. AT&T dividend is at 7%. They should cut that in half, and it'll still be great. They'd save a ton of money. And they cut that, even though they have no trouble paying it at 7%. But if you look at AT&T's divisions that got hit the hardest during the pandemic are now starting to come back. I mean, sports with their Turner Sports Network. They get live sports. TBS is doing okay. They still own CNN, where ratings are going to skyrocket this quarter from the election. Warner Brothers Entertainment and Movie Division. I mean, Hollywood's opening back up finally. They throw in streaming, HBO Go. It's a massive cash flow machine, and wireless, which will benefit from the massive sales of the iPhone 12. Not sure if you saw the early numbers, but Apple sold over 2 million iPhone 12s. 2 million in one day. Pretty amazing considering you don't get a plug, you don't get headphones. 5G is not going to be available for probably 90% of people until 12 months from now, maybe. But it's a great company. People love their products. They're willing to pay up. Paying more for this phone than they did for the 11. It's amazing. But that's great for a lot of the carriers. These are companies that own massive assets and pay a nice yield in a zero interest rate world where trillions of institutional dollars need to flow into. So instead of putting your emotions into who's going to win the election and the next Twitter post and how pissed you are and, you know, Biden's an idiot and hope Trump dies and all this crap, at the end of the day, these politicians don't care about you, right? They don't care about me. We know that. If they did, they'd have a stimulus plan. This second round of stimulus would have happened 2 months ago. They don't. They care about power. That's it. We all know that, right? Everybody has to know that. I'm sure you guys are smart enough to know that. Instead of caring about all the BS, start finding out how to make money from who wins. How to make money when the economy starts opening back up. How to make money from stupid Fed policies that are going to be in place forever. So to say, look at the debt to GDP ratio, it's through the roof. Oh, man, so many comments. They're going to continue to spend. They're going to continue to pay their bills. Debt's going to go higher. We were talking about debt to GDP ratio since 2008. Look where the markets went. Is that a factor in the market? No. And believe me, you'll know when it becomes a factor because the bond market would tell us in 2 seconds. We're not there. So stop focusing on that. It's a nice number. It's crazy. It's going to go up to 200% of GDP. We're going to be a third world country. You know what? Make 300-400% first. And then when that happens, you'll still be able to get out of the market. Again, there's a lot of indicators that would tell us that, holy shit, this is about to blow up. And they're not telling us that right now. If you're looking at all these things and how to position yourself, I mean, that's what life is about. You and your family, not who wins the White House. And to have that kind of sentiment, it's not easy. And just look at the emotional posts on social media from your friends when it comes to the election. I mean, these are people that are nice people that you hang out with are just totally angry and want to kill somebody. It's insane when you look at social media. You would never talk to anybody the way you talk on social media to people. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I'm sure you guys have friends that are nice people, and then boom, these freaking posts come out. You're like, whoa. But if you really start thinking like that, focusing on yourself, focusing on making money, instead of all the BS and who's going to win the White House, all that, you're going to be making a lot of money while your friends sit around bitching about how living in America sucks as they tweet on their new iPhone 12 while driving their Teslas, while they just refinanced a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home at 3%. They're going to be bitching. Let them bitch. But you need to own assets in this market. With interest rates low, more stimulus coming, position yourself. It's an opportunity to make a fortune if you put emotions aside. That's how you make a shitload of money. Investing in what's working and what will work in the future based on the new policies that are coming. That's how you become a millionaire. That's how you become wealthy and own 3, 4, 5 houses, have your kids taken care of. That's how the greatest investors think.